Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Really well, thank you. So I'm excited to see you and talk to you. Well,
Yeah.
talk to you again, see you for the first time. So,
Yeah.
so your career is kind of on fire right now. You just recorded with Alice Cooper and Revenge of Alice Cooper. I think that the first album from that from the with the original lineup since 1973.
Yep.
That's
It
crazy.
is. Yeah,
Yes,
since Muscle of Love.
it's crazy. Can you tell me a little bit about how you fell into that or how Alice found you and a little bit about that
Yeah.
process?
Yeah, that kind of came out of nowhere
Oh,
for
really?
me. Yeah. Um I mean, they were going into the studio with the original guys, and they obviously Glenn Buxton passed away in the
Right.
90s. So they needed a lead guitar player, and I think Bob Ezrin, the producer, was the one who was kind of um, pushing to find somebody that wasn't, kind of a go-to session obvious choice,
Mhm.
like they've done many times, like Slash or whoever. I mean, they have access to some of the greatest guitar players in the world who've played on a lot of Alice's, especially like all of his solo records. So yeah, I think they wanted someone that would kind of fit in with the band a little bit more, sort of as a member, and kind of bring a more unique personality to it. Um, and so that led Bob to kind of, I guess, ask around with his friends and people that were in the industry. And he asked Mike Grimes in Nashville, who runs a really great record store here. And Mike sent him my music and said, check this guy out. And Bob sent it to Alice. And then I was on tour at the time, and they just called me out of the blue and were like, "Hey, would you like to come and do a session with us?" Um, and I was like, yeah, yeah.
Right.
and and they sent me two songs. I think it were no promises. It was kind of like, come in, we'll play these two songs with the band and kind of just see how it goes. So we went and did that session, and yeah, it went really well. And we got on musically together and did those two songs, and then the next day they called me back and had me come in and do overdubs, and then they sent me like the whole record shortly after that, like 14 songs. Yeah, and so then I worked mostly with Bob on most of the rest of the record. um yeah,
Really,
so it
that's
was kind of just sort of
mind
a,
blowing.
it was mind-blowing, it was wild. I
Yeah.
mean, I was, yeah, I mean, definitely was not on my radar whatsoever.
Right.
um
That's amazing.
but and I kind of approached it too without a whole lot of pressure, because I knew they could. I mean, I knew they're a band that's been playing together for years, so it's like they have their special chemistry. And if I don't fit with that, then I'm sure they can find somebody else that will. So for me, it was just about making something interesting with these guys, like I would with any other group of musicians, and
Right.
just contributing whatever needed, I felt like needed to be contributed. So
Right.
um yeah, and it worked out. They're really sweet guys. They're great, awesome musicians, awesome band. And yeah, we had a good time working together. So
It sounds just super incredible. And I mean, I've actually met Alice twice. And the first time I was really young and like super tongue tied. But
yeah,
second time went better. I was, a little less gobsmacked. But yeah, very, very nice person and super nice
yeah,
guy.
they're all super
Yeah.
nice. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm a big fan of Alice. So when I saw that, I was like, no way, I know. Well, know you. But, I was like, I know
Yeah.
who it is.
Yeah.
I was really
Yeah.
excited about that.
Yeah. No, it's been awesome.
Totally. So what I want to ask you next. So you've also recently been in Guitar Player magazine, which you said you was kind of like a dream because you've always read that magazine when you were younger. If I
Yeah, I mean, I
yeah.
think, yeah,
Were you like blown
m-
away?
most kid, I mean, yeah, I mean, most kids that, when you're playing guitar in your bedroom, it's like Guitar Player magazine, like,
Yeah.
that, so especially, when they had like Jimmy Page or Led Zeppelin articles, I still have some of those that I would kind of save, like the
Yeah.
Led Zeppelin ones. So yeah, that was really cool to, yeah, just to,
I mean, what a
yeah,
rush. I'd be like, whoa, I
yeah,
made it.
yeah, yeah,
I
no,
know
it's,
you like
it's,
your
it's awesome.
Yeah, I know you're like super influenced. At least I've read that you're super influenced by Jimmy Page and Led Zeppelin. I
Yeah.
mean, I can hear like I can hear some of the other influences that are in your music when I'm listening to like, Baby Blue or Sweet Thing or whatever. But if you wouldn't mind telling our audience like who all you're influenced by besides, Led Zeppelin, obviously.
Yeah. I mean, David Bowie, I think, is another pretty obvious influence.
Yeah.
I mean, I just find him so inspiring in his entire approach to music and life in general, you know.
Yeah, very
Um,
versatile person. Was a very
y-
versatile person.
yeah. And super fearless artist, you know. Um, yeah, who was able to take, so many different things and combine all these different influences and things he was interested in and change and yeah, just like pushed himself artistically so much in his whole career. Um, so I find him extremely really inspiring. And just I mean, as a songwriter, musically, his musical tendencies and choices, I just find really amazing.
Right.
Um, and the theatricality and yeah, I find there's such a deep well from David Bowie
Yeah.
of inspiration. Aside from Led Zeppelin, I'd say that's my other biggest influence. um and also, I mean, I love Lou Reed's songwriting.
Oh
I
yeah.
think he's a brilliant songwriter. Bob Dylan, the Beatles, Iggy Pop, I think, it's
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
his
You can hear
raw.
that. You can hear a little Iggy and some Iggy influence in your music
Mhm. I
in
think
all
yeah,
positive good
especially
ways.
like, yeah, the Stooges. And I mean, yeah, I just think that raw Detroit rock and roll thing is just, it has such power.
I love all
Yeah,
that stuff so much.
yeah. Um, and T-Rex is another one I
Oh
really
yeah,
like. Yeah.
for sure.
Mark
I can
Bolan.
definitely hear it in a couple of your songs. So
Yeah.
Mark Bolan is kind of
Um,
like a genius. So
yeah, he was a brilliant songwriter, I
yeah,
think.
so
Yeah.
so cool.
Yeah, really interesting. Kind of had his own little fantasy world that he wrote from.
Yeah, I loved his
Um,
like very much I mean, I know you're glammy, but like his glammy, like cutting edge pioneer glammy style. Him and Bowie, all that.
mhm. Yeah.
And I mean, I love
Um,
the theatrical part of it. So
yeah. Yeah. So yeah, obviously those have been super influential for me. But also, I grew up playing a lot of old blues music, and still do play a lot of, especially like Delta, Piedmont style
yep,
blues. Robert Johnson, obviously, but Son House and Blind Willie McTell, um, Blind Blake. I mean, a lot of there's just so many. That's a whole other world of
yeah.
music that I really respect and admire.
You're really good at it. So I mean, you're really like a fabulously talented guitarist and singer. If I may fangirl for a minute.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
Um, and also, yeah, I studied a lot of Django Reinhardt when I was in school, so I still enjoy playing that music a lot, like swing
Right. And you
and
went to Berkeley School of Music?
mhm, yeah,
That's
hmm,
cool. Very neat.
yeah. Um, so yeah, a lot of different influences in my music
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah.
I mean, I
Um,
mean, a lot of rock and roll is rooted in blues anyhow. So
yeah, I mean,
for sure. Yeah.
hugely. I
I mean,
mean,
a lot of Led
I mean,
Zeppelin is taken from other blues artists. So for
oh
sure.
yeah, oh yeah. They were basically a blues band. Um, but the way they were able to kind of push it further, I
Right,
think
right.
is, yeah, so amazing.
Did you watch
Um,
the documentary Becoming Led Zeppelin? Have you seen that yet?
I did see that. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, which, I'm such a nerd about that stuff that there was very, very little that I didn't already know in that documentary,
Oh,
which I was
really?
kind of disappointed by because I was expecting, I don't know, it was like there was like all new footage and
Like
new
a deeper
things.
dive.
Yeah, and there real I mean, there were very few. There were some shots of like the Pangborn house where they would rehearse, which I'd never seen, and some footage of like the Fillmore shows in
Yeah.
1968 when they first came to the US. But aside from, a few things like that, it was,
New.
I've been researching and digging up all of the old bootlegs. There's people have done a pretty good job of transferring some of the 16 millimeter and 8 millimeter films from different shows, in the early 70s.
Mhm.
What's around, is archived. So I've, spent hours and hours digging through that stuff and listening to the different versions and
Yeah.
listening to the bootlegs and things like that. But it was, I mean, it was really cool to see it on,
Yeah,
the
I
big
love
screen.
it.
And yeah,
I
Yeah.
liked
So
it better than The Song Remains the Same.
did you?
Yeah, because for me, like The Song Remains the Same was just so incredibly long for me.
Yeah, it's
I
long,
would like
but
I
it's
wanted like
yeah,
more, I don't know, I wanted more something. And I
yeah,
saw it the last time I saw it, I think I was a teenager. So it's been a long
yeah. I mean, it's different because that's a concert video, a
time.
concert
True,
film,
true.
and they have their sort of psychedelic sequences, and
Yeah,
I think it's cool as a work artistic kind of statement,
sure.
and especially with them, being such a live band, I think that was a good way for them to document what they did.
And I love the early footage when they're playing to a crowd that's sitting down, everybody's sitting down, and some people are holding their ears.
Oh,
I
I can't
laughed
imagine
so
how
hard.
I'm
I'm like,
sure
they
that
probably
was
don't even know like what hit them. They were like,
yeah, sitting right in front of like those
yeah.
Marshall ants. Yeah, yeah, that footage is really cool.
It was fun. It's just
And
funny to me because I'd have been like out of my seat, you know. So, but they were.
right,
I guess it was different then. So
yeah,
I was like, I have
yeah,
a hard time. Like if it's a concert and they're like, this will be a seated concert. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, I don't know if I want to.
yeah, yeah. It's always strange. I mean, we don't play for a sit down show very often, but whenever we do, it's always a bit weird.
Yeah, yeah. And I
Yeah,
was
it's
at a
like
show once where someone threw something at me because they wanted me to sit down, and I was like, well, now I'm just going to stand up the whole time.
yeah, definitely.
I'm good
I
now.
mean, yeah, rock and roll show.
Yeah,
It's
right. It's
hard to
like,
sit down for a rock and roll
yeah, like
show.
I mean, yeah, for most people and myself, the music moves me, so I need to get up,
Yeah.
shake my moneymaker. But so you have actually released five of your own albums, is that correct?
Mm,
Is it five?
no, I don't. Not quite. It's kind of weird because I put out an EP. That was the
Okay,
first time I put out like 6 songs. Then I put out my first record myself. But then I had a record label come in and they were like, because I never released any of that stuff on vinyl. So they were kind of like, hey, can we take some of the songs from your EP and your first album and put them on vinyl? But then I also had a bunch of new songs. So it was kind of like half old and half new and sort
okay,
of almost like not really a compilation record, but it was like kind of taking what I had kind of self released and doing like a proper first record. So I kind of think of that as my first record, even though I had two releases before that.
okay.
And so I did that record, and then I did a live record, and then a new record. So I've got 3 albums on a record label, and then I've got 2 self releases.
Oh,
So
cool.
yeah, I guess technically all add together that's 5.
Yeah,
But really, it feels more like 3 proper
to
releases.
you, to you,
Yeah,
yeah.
and
Oh, those,
2 albums. Yeah,
yeah, that's totally, yeah, that's amazing. I'm excited. I have to like delve more into your catalog. I listened to a bunch of stuff recently, but I need to do more. But is your latest called
yeah,
Here Comes the Good Part?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Well, at least I got that part right. So, let
yeah.
me ask you this, like about your process, like, do you sit down and write your own songs? Do you know what inspires you to be a musician and singer? Like, where do you draw inspiration from? It's like more
Oh man, I mean
like
everywhere. Yeah, I mean all over the place. Yeah,
yeah.
life, the universe, and everything. I mean, my process these days, I kind of have to carve out, time to work a little bit more, and kind of set time aside to really do it. But I'm kind of always generating ideas all the time. I'm always recording little like voice notes in my phone or writing down ideas. And so
Yep.
it's I'm like kind of have this back catalog of all this sort of stuff that's always kind of in the back of my mind. And then when it comes time to like actually get something together, then it's sort of you kind of either go through those things or kind of let them come from your subconscious out into like an actual work or piece, you know. Um, but yeah, I mean, I write everything myself. So a lot of times I'll work on songs, on my own until they get to a certain point, and then I'll kind of bring them to the musicians in my band and sort of work it out more as like a live band and kind of jam on it and sort of just explore what it feels
Right.
like it wants to be with other musicians. Um, and then we'll record it and I'll finish all the overdubs and all that stuff. I definitely have a producer's mindset, a lot when I'm writing. So I think a lot about, the production, the recording techniques, how it's going to sound, and all of
Right.
that stuff. But I have a fabulous producer that I work with as like a co-producer. Um, so yeah, so it's kind of I mean the process changes song to song,
Right.
but yeah, it's just I'm always playing catch up permanently. I've got
Yeah.
just I mean the amount of I've got those, five records that I put out, but I've probably got like 35 unreleased albums of material. It's
Wow.
thousands and
Yeah.
thousands. It's just this huge back catalog, because
Yeah.
I remember I started recording music when I was like 13. I got like a cassette recorder. So
Yeah.
yeah, so it's kind of just,
That's totally.
finding what is, whether it's just like recycling old ideas that never went anywhere, or finding just uncovering something that never got released and kind of being like, hey, let's rework this, or yeah, or brand new things. It's like kind of. But I will say, I think part of my process is that I'm very quick at generating a lot of ideas, but putting that final bow and like getting the song all the way to the finish line in its best form, as I can be slower at. So it's kind of like I'm working on all these different songs and just trying to get them to that finish line.
Yeah. Well, I
Um,
think if you're
so
creative, that, generating ideas sometimes is easy, but like
yeah,
following all the way through, like from A to Z, sometimes, I mean, just like even for me, like as a writer and interviewer, I have all these little ideas, and then I'm like, oh, wait a minute, what did I do with that? And do I want to push that forward, or do I want
right,
to interview these people, or that kind of thing. Like,
yeah,
the how I choose to interview is like if I'm inspired by somebody's music and it really speaks to me, then that's something I'm usually interested in.
right,
So I do have bands reach out to me sometimes, and say, hey, we'd love to do an interview. But a lot of the time, I do the reach out because I'm like, I love your music and I need to talk to you. So
hmm
yeah. So
yeah.
so where would you like your music to take you? Like, what's your vision? Do you have like, or do you just like enjoy playing out and just creating all this music for people, for the masses?
I mean, I do want to be able to. I think reaching enough people to where I can kind of grow it into a wider community, and also have resources to make more and kind of take the level of the show, take the level of the creative, elements, whether it's music videos or just, having just more, a little, like more freedom to create
Right.
and to, yeah. So, and also financially, just being able to yeah, take it to a higher level, is my goal. And just to reach people and to bring, I think the idea of rock and roll as a vibrant, vital, creative medium, um, I think that, I don't know, it seems like rock and roll has such a nostalgia attached to it, and I think my goal is to make it feel more alive and, exciting.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and not necessarily about the nostalgia of it, but about it as an art form. It's an art, a creative medium and an art form. So that's
Right.
really, that's how I look at it. It's just rock and roll is my chosen medium as an artist.
Right.
Um, so yeah, that's my goal with it, is to kind of, bring rock and roll to the masses, and also
Yeah,
to a younger generation, and to,
definitely. Yes, I would
you
agree with
know, yeah, I think, cause I think people, there's an energy to rock and roll music that I think people crave, but they don't know that they do, because they don't
you.
really
Right.
know what rock and roll really is about. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's
I
just
mean,
trying to,
I would totally agree with that. I mean, maybe they don't know, but I mean, I mean, just myself, like as far as loving music so much or loving a band so much or loving a song so much, I mean, I absolutely crave it. And I actually feel better, if I go out and experience some live music and
yeah,
dig what's happening around me and it's a good vibe and it gets you out of like your day to day and you can like forget about life for a while and just enjoy
yeah,
your music.
hmm
That's I'm definitely into
yeah. I
that. Okay.
think yeah, there's a lot of value in that.
For sure. So for you, like I know I've talked to other musicians about this, like what do you get or what's it like for you to play out and be up on stage? Is it like being able to perform and give all your music to everybody? Is it something that you get something out of it, like euphoria, adrenaline, like some people love to perform and live to perform, is that kind of thing, or
Yeah, some people, I guess some people do, some people don't. I'm definitely born performing. I was a performer
yeah,
even when I was a little kid. And
yeah,
that was always something that was always kind of my strong suit. I noticed, when I was in bands over the years, that was like something that I was like the performer. I just had that kind of a natural ability
for
and
sure.
aptitude for performance. And so, yeah, my music is definitely, I think, best. It just feels the best live, and that's, I think, the best way that I can get it across.
Yep.
Still, I'm working. I want the goal is obviously is for the studio version to be, if not as good, to stand really well on its own, and then have I think it's always I think always my favorite bands, like the live show, just still always is a little better. It has
Yeah,
that
right.
magic.
Sure.
But yeah, I love performing, and I think I just think it's very powerful, and the energy sharing of an audience,
Hmm.
and just the whole energy of rock and roll music in a room right now, right here with these people. It's like when everybody gets on that same page together and the band starts going, it's like this kind of like other thing happens. There's just some magic to it.
Sure.
That I mean, I remember the first time I experienced that when I was like in high school. My first band, it was kind of like, man, I want that feeling, for the rest of my life.
Yeah. Well,
Um,
you're really good at it, so
well, yeah, it's where
you're very mesmerizing, and not just the music, like everything you're doing. So I mean, I think you kind of nailed it.
well, thanks. Yeah, I mean, it
Absolutely.
definitely felt like, that. Yeah, I mean, it feels like I feel useful. If that makes sense.
Yeah,
I
that makes
feel
sense.
like I'm able to, you know, do something that I'm good at that feels like is the right thing for me to be doing when I'm on stage. So,
For sure.
yeah.
You're definitely in the right place. That's for sure. So you recently played in Asheville with Dennis Dunaway. How was that?
That was awesome. That was
Yeah, I
really
watched a
cool.
little clip of it. It looked like a very, very fun time.
It was a really good time. Yeah, he just happened to be in town. His
Oh,
daughter
really?
lives there. Yeah, his daughter lives there. He lives in Connecticut.
Uh-huh.
But he was visiting Asheville that weekend, and I was on tour playing there. Um, so yeah, he was kind of like, I think he actually had suggested like, hey, what if we like did a tune together or something? I was like, yeah, totally. So he was like,
Played?
yeah, what? So how
But
about like,
sounded
yeah,
great, man.
he
Cool.
suggested that Alice Cooper song, which I've actually, I've never covered one of Alice's songs before, so that was
Oh
kind
yeah?
of fun to learn one of
Yeah.
their tunes. And I didn't have time to rehearse it. I was just listening to it in my headphones, like in the
Oh,
van.
really? Oh,
Yeah, on
wow. You
like
couldn't tell.
uh, it was definitely very loose, but we just, yeah, I mean, he got up
Yeah.
there, and yeah, it was
Well,
it was super fun though. The crowd was great, energy was good. It was the last show of the tour, so
yeah.
we were just pretty warmed up and just kind of loose,
Well, you sounded really good. You really,
Thanks.
I mean, I know I'm fangirling all over you. Sorry, but I mean, you really nailed it. You not really knocked it out
Thanks.
of the park. I was like, oh my God, it's so good. So
Thanks.
really good.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was fun.
It looked like you guys were having a good time. So
Yeah.
I just have a couple, like two more questions. So, what advice would you give to aspiring musicians or aspiring singers, people that want to be in bands?
To buckle up
Yeah, right.
and really, yeah, to yeah, put in the work. You have to, yeah, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work, and it's a lot of doing it. And if not, I don't think, you can't wait around for anyone to come and do anything for you. You have to,
Right.
go make it happen yourself, as much as possible. Um, so yeah, it's definitely, it takes a pretty substantial life commitment,
Oh, for
to
sure.
really, you have to really want it.
I agree.
But I mean, it's like, yeah, it's difficult, but it's also extremely rewarding. So yeah, I mean, I think you have to be like obsessed.
Yeah.
If it's like, if you cannot survive without making music, then you should do music. If
Right.
you can without, then might not be the most
Okay, you
comfortable
might find
life.
something else to do, right?
Yeah, because yeah, you have to just be completely obsessed and insane.
Yeah,
And
I get
if you're
that.
obsessed and insane and
I'm like
yeah,
that about a couple of things, so I get that.
yeah,
Okay, so my last question, I was talking to one of my friends who's a drummer, Tom Hone. He's in Rattlebones, local band, but he
uh,
said to me Saturday night, he's like, tell if you talk to Gyasi, I want to know when he's coming back to Pittsburgh. So where are you all going to be playing? I know I saw that you're in September, you're going to be in Akron, which is not super far away from Pittsburgh, but a little bit.
yeah, we're gonna be in Akron. Yep.
You have some other
That's
dates
kind
coming
of
up?
we have a few. We have a big Nashville show, which I'm excited for because we haven't played here in like a year and a half, I think.
Yeah, it's because you've
It's
been
crazy
everywhere.
because we've been everywhere else. Exactly. So we're doing that, and then yeah, we have like Louisville, and then like three Ohio shows at the end of
Okay.
September, which are mostly just warm up for Europe because we're going to Europe for all of October.
Oh, wow. So
Yeah,
cool.
yeah. So we're finally getting to the UK, which we've never been to. So we're playing
You
like
were in Paris though, right?
London. Yeah, we played
In
Paris.
Paris, right? I saw that.
Yeah, but we've never played London. So yeah, we're playing like yeah, Germany, Belgium, France, UK. We're playing Amsterdam, like Netherlands. So yeah,
Wow. Okay. That's really
yeah,
cool.
yeah.
Okay, so
So
you're saying the closest shows are going to be Ohio for Pittsburgh then?
for Pittsburgh right now, yeah,
Yeah, for now.
yeah, and then I'm playing with Alice in November. He's
Oh, wow.
doing, yeah, he does his like Christmas pudding show. I don't know if you've ever heard of
Yeah, I've
that,
heard of
but
that. Yeah.
yeah, so
I've
I'm
never
playing.
seen it though, but
Yeah, well, the original group is playing that, so I'm playing with them for that show. That'll be my first show with the Alice guys. So
Woo!
that'll be cool. Yeah.
What
So
city would that
and
be in?
Phoenix,
In
Arizona.
Phoenix? Oh, because he's
Yeah,
from Arizona, right? Or he
yeah,
lives there now. Yep.
yeah.
Oh,
Um,
how
but yeah, but
exciting.
Pittsburgh, yeah, yeah. So that's kind of what I have, from now until November.
Okay.
And then we've got some spring. We're doing like a cruise in the spring, but
Oh,
yeah, I
cool.
don't, yeah, that's about all. That's about all that we have booked at the moment.
Yeah. So
But
people should keep
Pittsburgh,
their eyes like on your social media, see what pops up.
yeah. I mean, I'd say, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know yet what if we'll do much in November because that would probably be the last month we would tour until like probably March, I would imagine, or maybe
Yeah, right.
February. Yeah, because I'm not crazy about touring in the winter
Yeah, right. Or
a
Christmas.
whole lot. Yeah, and then all that. So, but Pittsburgh, we would definitely like to play Pittsburgh. We need to get more into the Northeast
Yeah.
area.
There's a lot of fans here too. So
Is that where you're based, Pittsburgh?
yeah, sorry, I
Yeah,
probably should have told you that.
yeah.
So yeah, our
For some
show's
reason,
based just right outside of Pittsburgh in McKeesport.
cool. Yeah, we've played in Morgantown, West
Yeah, I
Virginia
saw
a
that.
few
I
times, which
missed
that's
that
only
show.
like
I
an
kicked myself for missing that.
it's only like an hour away, right? Something like that.
Yeah, Morgantown's not
Yeah,
far. You're
yeah,
from West Virginia though, right?
yeah.
But
hmm
not you're not from Morgantown though.
No, I'm from Hinton, which is down like 3.5 hours south of
Because I remember
Morgantown.
you telling me when we first talked that you like grew up in the holler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
hmm Oh yeah.
Mountains. So
Yeah.
all right, cool. Well, thank you so much for your time. I'm really excited to
Yeah.
talk to you. I definitely want to try to come out and get that meet you at the Akron show.
Yeah.
And yeah, so congratulations on all your success. I
Thank
think you're
you.
just, I mean, I really feel like you're just going to shoot straight to the top. So
We're working on it. We're working on
yeah,
it.
well, I think you're on your
Yeah.
way. But
Well,
yeah,
yeah.
I'm really excited to talk to you. I'm just like, I'm a little overwhelmed. But anyhow, so our show's on Wednesday, so we'll air the audio and then I will
Cool.
send you all the information and then I'll post it on my YouTube channel and send you the link and everything. So
Sweet. Please do.
thank you so
Yeah.
much for your time, Jossie. It was
Yeah, of
wonderful to
course.
talk to you. Such a pleasure.
Yeah. Lovely to talk to you again.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.